8 people are facing new charges in connection to the death of a 24-year-old woman found in the woods in Pawtucket in October.
They were all in court. So was NBC 10's Molly Levine, live with us tonight. Molly?
Well, Gene and Patrice, it's still unclear what exactly went on in that Central Falls home that Erica Bader was living in, but we do know several of the people that were apparently living with her there were arraigned in court this morning. They faced a judge with charges in connection to her death.
Welcome to True Crime Lab Hub, where real crimes unfold and hidden motives are exposed. Behind every headline lies a story of love, betrayal, and cold-blooded murder. Subscribe now and step inside the world of true crime.
8 adults are being charged in connection to the death of 24-year-old Erica Bader, arraigned in groups this morning in front of a judge in Providence District Court. 5 were arrested on murder, kidnapping, and conspiracy charges. 28-year-old Andrew Cornell, 35-year-old Joshua Brunel, 41-year-old Elizabeth Durand, 37-year-old Stephanie Bletzer, and 34-year-old Brittany Turpening. They're being held without bail, and 3 people were arrested and charged with kidnapping, conspiracy, and failure to report a death. That's 22-year-old Christopher Kordelewski, 26-year-old Joanne Miller, and 36-year-old Cheryl Blakely. A judge granted them a $30,000 surety bail.
Erica Bader was a 24-year-old pregnant woman whose life was violently cut short. She was 24 at the time of her death and was pregnant. Her stepmother, Crystal Smith, confirmed that both Erica and her unborn baby were killed. The primary spokesperson sharing details about Erica's life and death is her stepmother, Crystal Smith. The family is described as heartbroken and is speaking out to the media following the tragedy. The most crucial detail concerning her relationships is that she was staying at a home in Central Falls, Rhode Island, with the people who would later be charged in her murder. Crucially, her stepmother stated that Erica did not know her alleged killers initially. They were like total strangers to her before she began staying at the residence. This suggests she entered the environment without prior personal history with the suspects. The information does not detail the reasons why Erica began staying with these individuals, but it marks the critical point where she came into contact with her alleged attackers. Erica's murder involves a harrowing sequence of events, allegedly carried out by 8 individuals in Central Falls, Rhode Island. Erica began staying at a home in Central Falls, Rhode Island, with the 8 individuals who are now charged in her death. Her family explicitly stated she did not know these people beforehand. While staying at the home, Erica was allegedly abused by the suspects. Realizing the danger, she attempted to leave the residence. Her attempt to escape was thwarted. According to her stepmother, Crystal Smith, the suspects dragged her in, pulled her in that house, and held her hostage, basically. This period marks her alleged captivity within the Central Falls home. A welfare check was conducted at the Central Falls home in April, but Erica was not at the residence at the time of the check. The outcome of the check is not detailed, but it did not lead to her rescue. The family alleges that Erica was attacked, raped, and murdered in Central Falls. While police have not released specific details on the cause of death or how she was killed, the family claimed she was sexually assaulted before her murder. The fact that her body was found mutilated, according to the family and police reports cited in the source material, underscores the extreme brutality of the crime. Erica's mutilated body was found in a wooded area in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, on October 27th. This indicates her body was transported a short distance from the Central Falls residence, where the alleged captivity and murder occurred. 8 people have been charged in relation to Erica Bader's death. 5 individuals are charged with murder and kidnapping. Andrew Cornell, 28. Joshua Brunel, 35. Elizabeth Durand, 41. Stephanie Bletzer, 37. Brittany Turpening, 34. 3 other individuals are charged with kidnapping, conspiracy, and failure to report a death. Christopher Kordelewski, 22. Joanne Miller, 26. Cheryl Blakely, 36. A search of the Central Falls residence in early November led to the removal of 46 cats and 4 dogs due to bad living conditions, suggesting a highly neglected and possibly chaotic environment at the scene of her alleged captivity. Erica Bader's tragic case, where a vulnerable woman was allegedly taken advantage of by total strangers, offers several critical lessons for viewers of True Crime Lab Hub. The case highlights the specific dangers of predatory groups and isolation. Erica was living with total strangers. Viewers should be cautious about moving in or forming close bonds too quickly with people they do not have a confirmed, reliable history with. Takeaway: verify and vet your living situations and new acquaintances. A sense of immediate belonging can mask real danger. The subsequent discovery of terrible living conditions, 46 cats, 4 dogs, unsanitary, at the suspect's home is a major red flag that often accompanies disorganization, neglect, and potentially dangerous behavior. The immediate abuse and her failed attempt to flee are also critical signs. Takeaway: if a living situation feels unsafe, overwhelming, or immediately abusive, trust that instinct and prioritize getting out safely. Any restriction on movement or forced confinement is a severe emergency. While a welfare check was performed, it failed to find Erica. This emphasizes the need for continuous vigilance by community members and family. Takeaway: if you know someone is in a dangerous situation, one report may not be enough. Be persistent with local authorities or social services. If a loved one attempts to leave and is physically prevented, call emergency services immediately. This case involved 8 people, 5 of whom are charged with murder. This points to the psychological safety a group provides to commit heinous acts. Individuals may feel unable to resist a group's dynamics or escape a multi-person threat. Takeaway: be extra cautious about situations where you are outnumbered or enter an established, insular group's domain, especially if they are strangers.
If you enjoyed this true crime story from True Crime Lab Hub, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, and share it with fellow true crime enthusiasts. We'd also love to hear your thoughts, so drop your comments below. And before you go, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified the moment we post new videos. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more gripping true crime stories.
Sad for her to have been in a place where she couldn't get away.
Bader was living at a home in Central Falls with several of the people now charged.
Who are these people she was living with? I mean,
They're just random people. They're just people she knew. She didn't even know them. She tried to run away one time. She didn't get far. They dragged her in, they pulled her in that house and held her hostage, basically.
The woods of Pawtucket, Rhode Island, are quiet. On the surface, it's just another piece of overgrown land. But on October 27th, the silence was shattered by a discovery so brutal, so incomprehensible, it would chill the community to its core. Lying dumped and mutilated in that wooded area was the body of 24-year-old Erica Bader. And she wasn't alone. Erica was pregnant. Both mother and baby had been brutally murdered. For her heartbroken family, the pain was immediate and absolute. Her stepmother, Crystal Smith, spoke for them all, saying simply, "They killed her and the baby. They should be ashamed of themselves for what they've done." But the shocking nature of Erica's murder goes far beyond the crime itself. What makes this case a total nightmare is the sheer number of alleged killers and the impossible fact of who they were. Imagine this horror: you are taken captive, abused, sexually assaulted, and violently killed. Then, after the unbelievable trauma, 8 different people are charged in your death. 8. And the people responsible? They were not lifelong enemies, old rivals, or even distant acquaintances. According to Erica's family, the 8 suspects charged with her murder and kidnapping were total strangers. They were people she had only just met, people she had started staying with in a house in Central Falls. How does a young, pregnant woman fall into the hands of 8 strangers? How can a casual living arrangement turn into a house of alleged horrors and forced captivity? And what dark, unbelievable set of circumstances led to her body being dumped in the woods? This is the story of Erica Bader, a true crime mystery where the victim's vulnerability was exploited by a shocking number of people. It is a terrifying example of how quickly and completely a life can be stolen by the people you least expect. Before we try to piece together the truth behind the Hostage House 8, please hit the like button on this video. Liking the video helps the algorithm share this story, and maybe, just maybe, it can help prevent a similar tragedy from ever happening again. The truth of what happened in that house is almost too much to process. The question remains, how did she not know the danger until it was too late? And how did she become a prisoner? Erica Bader was only 24 years old. The details of her early life and her specific background are scarce, a common tragedy in cases where a life is cut short so suddenly and violently. What we know is told through the lens of her grieving family, primarily her stepmother, Crystal Smith. They paint a picture of a young woman who was on the precipice of motherhood, a journey that was violently ended before it could even begin. At the time of her death, Erica was expecting a child. The fact that her alleged killers took both her life and the life of her baby is a recurring source of anguish for her family, captured in Crystal Smith's heart-wrenching statement. They killed her and the baby! The loss is double, a future extinguished and a potential life never realized. Like many young adults, Erica seems to have been navigating her life and looking for a place to stay. This search for stability, or perhaps just a temporary place to call home, led her to a residence in Central Falls, Rhode Island. It was a decision that would prove fatal, putting her directly in the path of a large, insular group of people who would become her alleged captors and murderers. The most shocking revelation about Erica's relationship with the suspects comes from Crystal Smith. Erica did not know them.
She will be greatly missed. Her father and I love her. She did not deserve this. This was not a way to have her suffer with this nightmare.
They're just random people, Crystal told reporters. They were like total strangers to her. This crucial detail transforms the case from a tragedy rooted in a conflict between known associates into a terrifying scenario of predatory violence by a group of strangers. Erica had somehow found herself under the roof of people who were completely unknown to her, and the absence of any established connection meant there was no one in her direct circle who knew the danger she was walking into. The moment Erica moved into that Central Falls home, her life began to unravel. What she thought might be a simple living situation quickly became a nightmare of alleged abuse and control. The timeline is not entirely clear from the details released, but her family states that the abuse began while she was staying there. They say she was victimized by the very people she was living with, a situation that no doubt made her feel trapped and desperate. Realizing the house was a place of danger, Erica tried to do the one thing any person would. She tried to escape. She tried to run away one time. She didn't get far, Crystal Smith alleged in her interview with WJR. This desperate dash for freedom was allegedly met with brutal resistance. The suspects, seeing their victim attempt to flee, allegedly took drastic measures to keep her confined. Crystal said, "They dragged her in, pulled her in that house, and held her hostage. Basically, the Central Falls residence had effectively become a prison." Erica Bader, a pregnant young woman, was allegedly being held against her will by 8 people who were total strangers to her, in a chaotic, disturbing environment that the outside world had no idea about. This forced captivity is the heart of the horror in this case, a transition from an independent young woman to a prisoner in a house of strangers. But the dark reality of this house was even more profound. In the investigation that followed Erica's death, officials searching the home in early November discovered appalling conditions that had nothing to do with people. They had to remove a staggering 46 cats and 4 dogs due to the unsanitary and bad living conditions. This detail paints a picture of extreme neglect and chaos within the home, a backdrop that surely contributed to the terrifying and volatile environment Erica was allegedly held captive in. Erica's own words are not with us, but her stepmother's testimony highlights the emotional turmoil. It's sad for her to have been in a place where she couldn't get away. Her family's only solace now is the hope that justice will be served, a hope Crystal Smith voiced directly. I hope they never get out. Erica Bader's story becomes a profound warning, a reminder that vulnerability, when combined with trusting the wrong people, can create a pathway to unspeakable tragedy. Her life was a future with her baby. Her end was an alleged brutal attack at the hands of 8 strangers.
If you enjoyed this true crime story from True Crime Lab Hub, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, and share it with fellow true crime enthusiasts. We'd also love to hear your thoughts, so drop your comments below.